Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm your teacher Aisha Anwar. I hope all of you are fine. We have been studying chapter number 2, which is about system development life cycle or software development life cycle. In our previous lecture, we have covered the main content of this chapter. Today, we are going to revise the chapter only the main content, and after revision we will be solving the exercise MCQs and short question answers. So let's revise the basic concepts from chapter number 2. We have discussed about the system, what is system and what is SDLC. So we all know that Stlc is a complete procedure of creating and developing the information system. It is basically the set of techniques, methodologies and models by using which software engineers develop the system or software. After studying about SDLC definition, we covered the steps or phases of SDLC. We all know that there are 10 phases of SDLC, starting from defining the problem, then planning, feasibility study, analysis, requirement engineering, design, coding, testing or verification, deployment or implementation, and in the end, maintenance and support. The last topic from your chapter was discussed in previous lecture, personnel involved in SDLC and their roles. We discussed that there are basically six main roles that are being performed in SDLC, and these roles are performed by management personnel or management team, project manager, system analyst, programmer, software tester, and customer. After discussing their roles, we have completed our chapter. Today, we are going to solve its exercise. Okay students, now let's discuss the exercise of chapter number 2. It's time for self-assessment. You have to solve the MCQs for your self-assessment. If you are able to solve them on your own, so it means you have got the concept of system development life cycle. Please do solve these MCQs and share your answers with me. Now, short question answers. There are total 9 short question answers. First of all, what is a system? We have defined a system as a set of components, and those components are both hardware and software for collecting, creating, storing, processing and distributing the information. You have to include example over here. For example, student management system or library management system, hospital management system, inventory management systems are the example of the system that refers to the SDLC. Question number 2. Name different phases of SDLC. This is a very direct question. Simply you have to memorize and reproduce the phases of SDLC. as we all know that there are 10 phases, but only one thing here you need to keep in your mind: you have to name those phases in a sequence, because we cannot perform testing or verification before planning, or maintenance and support before analysis or design phase. So here you need to mention those phases in proper order and in proper sequence. For example, defining, then planning, then feasibility, and so on till maintenance and support. In this question, to support your answer, you can make the diagram which is given in your book. The next question is about the objectives of SDLC. It is again a very direct question from your book. We already have discussed that the main objective of SDLC is to ensure the high quality systems to be delivered, and it provides strong management controls over the project, and we follow STLC to maximize the productivity. These are the three main basic objectives of STLC. The question number 4 is, give some activities of planning phase. Here, during the planning phase, we perform various activities like risk management, acquisition. We have to perform change management as well to ensure what type of changes can be made in future. Then we can also perform project categorization. In this phase, the work breakdown structure and project schedule is also prepared, because we are in planning phase, so we have to plan each and every aspect of the project, from their budget to their schedule as well. And in this phase, we also plan about the staff, that how many personnels are going to involve and how many persons are going for the development and who is going for the testing according to the project and the project requirements. So in this planning phase, there is a long list of activities that is to be performed that I have discussed with you. In this phase, we also perform requirement management. We manage all the requirements in planning phase, that how these requirements are going to be integrated into the system. We have to spend an extensive time into the planning phase, because once the comprehensive planning is done, our system is going to be developed in an efficient way and in most probably error-free. At the end of the complete STLC phase, we will be having a complete project that satisfies the customer requirements. So we have to spend a great time in planning phase. Next question is about difference between functional and non-functional requirements. Again, it is a very direct question, and their definitions are clearly mentioned in your book. Functional requirement basically specify the functionality of the software, which means it tells about the functions and operations of the systems, and non-functional requirements specify the criteria for the judgment of the system, or for the judgment of the functional requirements. Okay, the next question is about design phase. Design phase is considered as the architectural phase of STLC. Give reasons. Basically, in design phase, we transform the requirements into the complete and detailed system design specifications. The flow of data processing is also developed. We write down the algorithm and we convert that algorithm into the flowcharts. So by using flowcharts and algorithm, we determine and we design the most logical design and the structure for the flow of data and the storage for the system. So that's why design phase is also known as the architectural phase. The next question is explain flowchart symbols. Again, it is a very easy and direct question. We know that some specific symbols and shapes are used for flowchart that is given in your book. For example, to show the process we use rectangle shape, and for showing input and output we use parallelogram. To show the start and stop we use oval shape. So to attempt this question, you have to draw the shapes, mention their name and write down their purpose. Without the shapes, your answer will be considered incomplete and you will lose marks in your paper. Okay, the question number 8 is about the testing. What is the purpose of testing or verification in SDLC phase? As we have already discussed in our previous lectures, the purpose of testing or verification is to evaluate an attribute, or we evaluate the capability of a system and we determine whether the system meets the requirements of the customers or not. If the system is delivering the correct results and it is meeting the customer's requirements, so it means our system is perfectly working and ready to be delivered. Question number 9. Give main activities of the implementation phase. We all know that implementation phase is the actually known as the deployment phase, which means we are handing over the developed system to the customers. In this phase, we install and activate the hardware and software. In some cases, the users and computer operation personnel are trained on the developed systems. And the third activity is the process of changing from the old system to the new system, which is known as the conversion. By using these 3 steps, we implement or deploy our system to the customer. Okay students, now coming towards extensive questions or long question answers. There are these 7 long question answers that are given in your book, and all of these are very direct questions. No reasoning, no comparisons or different questions are included. All are very direct question. For example, define, what, why, who. All of these topics are already discussed in previous lectures and clearly mentioned in your book. So please go through these questions by yourself. If still you are having any confusion and any query, please feel free to ask. With this lecture, we have completed our chapter number 2. Thank you.